I just got back from ShopRite, and today we are going to talk about gut health. As a dietitian, whether individuals are speaking to me about wanting to eat more produce for general health, or if they are on a GLP-1 and struggling with side effects, getting enough fruits, veggies, and fiber can be really difficult. This recipe that we're gonna make today is a really great way to both get in those fruits and veggies, but we have some secret ingredients to help your gut health as well. Things like ginger, that's going in the dressing, really good for digestive health. We have cabbage, which is gonna be the base, which I love because it can hold the dressing really well for when you make it in advance. And if you don't feel like chopping the cabbage, just buy the pre-made slaw. We also have your very important protein, whether you want to get it frozen or fresh. Salmon's my favorite protein topper, so I tend to get both. And then for our dressing, we've got our extra virgin olive oil and our secret gut health ingredient full of probiotics, apple cider vinegar, plus a little bit of soy sauce for flavor. Lastly, we have our healthy fat add-ons. That's gonna add some crunch along with some omega-3 fatty acids, and you have a really complete recipe. But if making a recipe or even getting in through meals, the fiber is a problem, I have got you covered. This is one of my newest finds, and boy, is it a lifesaver. Do you know that 1 in 10 Americans get the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables, and 1 in 20 get the recommended amount of fiber? Gutzy's mission is to support gut health by making it easier to nourish the good bacteria in your body. These pouches make it easy to get on-the-go organic fruits, veggies, and prebiotic fiber that comes from the acacia tree. Acacia is a plant, and that plant fiber is what's gonna really enrich your gut health. In addition to that, they're naturally gluten-free and dairy-free, and they don't contain any additional colors or ingredients. The recommended amount of fiber that an adult wants to get each day is 25 to 35 grams. These pouches have 7 to 8 grams of plant fiber and 5 to 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is the fiber that affects the gut health. If you've ever heard of a phrase like butterflies in your stomach or going with your gut, that's what refers to the gut being the command center of the body. It affects digestive health, immune support, which is especially important if you find yourself on a GLP-1 and it's a struggle to get as much food as you need in a day. These little beauties are perfect for getting in those fruits and vegetables, as well as getting you more than a quarter of the way to your daily fiber needs. Even though I'm a dietitian, I could be better about my fruit consumption. I love veggies, but fruits I am just not good at. And berries and apples do happen to be my favorite, so I am absolutely loving this flavor. It also has the ginger in there, which is great because it adds a little bit of zing, so it doesn't feel like you're just having a puree. It's got that depth of flavor. So I am going to have these always on hand to make sure that I am meeting my fiber goals. Let's prepare our dressing. Into a pot, put 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce, 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and then I did half the amount of sugar. I did 1/4 cup of the coconut sugar. Let that come to a boil and wait for the sugar to dissolve. Then grate in about a tablespoon of ginger. Take it off of the heat and leave it in a glass jar to cool overnight or until room temperature. For our crunchy topper, use the same pot that you made your dressing in. Place a tablespoon of butter into the pot and let it brown. Then add a cup of sliced almonds and 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds and mix that around to let them toast. Make sure you don't walk away because they can burn very fast. You want to keep them moving so they get nice and brown and toasty and they don't burn. Let's get our salad together. Now, I use the coleslaw blend because I wanted to save on prep work, but you can buy a red cabbage, green cabbage, and slice it up and do it that way. You'll definitely get a lot more, but it's completely up to you. So I'm gonna put that to the side while I get going on our other vegetables. And this is a nice, fresh green salad, really hydrating, which is good. We have a ton of cucumbers here. I like to buy these little ones because then I don't have to de-seed them and you still get that nice crunchiness. And then I cut them into sticks and then into these little pieces. That should be good. Put them to the side. Then one of my other favorite ingredients, green onions. If you're not the biggest fan of a red onion or even just an oniony flavor, adding scallions, especially when your base is something like a cabbage or a hearty kale, the scallions just add a really nice flavor without it being too oniony. And I use all the parts, especially if I am topping it. When I'm doing a dressing and I'm putting the green onions in, I usually like to use just the light green and white parts. But if you're using it as more of a garnish, all of them can go in. So I'm gonna put those in, and those just go really, really nice with the slaw mix. Then we're gonna add some fresh cilantro, which I know is a pretty divisive ingredient. You can definitely do a different fresh herb, but if it's something that you like and your family likes, go with the cilantro. It's gonna pair really nicely with the little bit of soy sauce and ginger that is in our dressing. All right, put that on top. And then for a little bit of heat, I'm going to use a bit of jalapeno. I'm gonna make sure that I don't get any of the seeds or the ribs. And you just wanna make sure if you touch any of that with your fingers, do not forget to wash your hands, because the minute you touch your eyes, you're not gonna be a happy camper. So just make sure you do that. And this is absolutely an optional ingredient. You can definitely use a red pepper if you wanna just have that extra vegetable. Since we are doing this recipe for gut health and part of it is getting in a lot of different plants and plant fiber, the more the merrier. But I do like the sort of monochromatic green in this salad. I think it's really pretty and it really just focuses on those vegetables. And the nice thing is the base of this is really hearty. So when we add our dressing, it's just gonna absorb, but unlike a romaine lettuce or even a spinach, it's not going to get soggy. So this is something that you can make in advance and then have it throughout the week. So I have our dressing here. I'm gonna pour that on. And then we are going to add a little bit of that crunchy topping that we made. And this is so good to even just have as a snack, whatever you don't use. I'm very excited to eat that later. And then for our protein, I took the salmon and I air fried it for 8 minutes at 400 degrees. And my little trick for flavoring and for easy cleanup and nice smelling hands is take your citrus fruit, one that pairs nicely with your recipe. In this case, I did a lime. And what you do is you just slice some nice round slices. So you wanna make sure they have a little bit of thickness. And you're going to place that on your air fryer and then place the salmon on top of that so that it helps to flavor the salmon and it helps to keep your air fryer clean, especially if you like the skin on salmon. That's not gonna peel off then onto the bottom of your air fryer. Whichever protein you choose, you have a salad base that is full of fiber and nutrients. Like and follow for more.